Did you know that more people spend time planning a vacation than spend planning their life? In a recent travel industry study, over 75% of the population planned vacation last summer. Yet, by contrast, in a Harvard Business School study, only 30% plan their life. Now, why is that? Many people think that planning a vacation is hard or difficult or too much like work. What I'm going to talk about is inserting the process of bucket lists and daydreaming into the essential process of life planning. And it makes it easier to get it done. And done is better than perfect in this powerful tool of road mapping your future of possibility. Now, what does it take to bridge the gap? Well, what if you start with daydreaming and daydreaming your way to a future that you love and that you want to have as your very own, just like you did when you were a child. And you would dream about what you wanted to be when you grew up and how you wanted your life to be. I remember when I was in high school, I used to dream about being a jet fighter pilot. Only I discovered I was disqualified because of my gender and my eyes. I was crushed. But I regrouped and I planned again. I decided I had to look and find something that was almost as interesting and exciting as being a fighter pilot. And I'm sure the choice is obvious. It was an accountant. In college, I majored in accounting, and I had a love-hate relationship with the subject. Some of the people who were in class with me just were baffled, but I thrived. So much so I became a professional accountant. I even got my certified public accounting designation. And then I went into private industry. You can dream your way into reality your entire life. And what if you were to take the fun and the play of vacation planning and to use that as a model for life planning? When you plan a vacation, you choose something from your bucket list, that long list of dream destinations that you want to be going. And you've chosen one, and then you go about starting the research and the planning. While that might not be your most favorite part, it certainly is part of vacation. So by definition, it has to be fun. And you might even plan a budget to help put some financial boundaries around everything and to support you in making some decisions. And soon all the decisions are made, the who, what, where, and when, and how is all been decided. And now you're ready to go. You've got the itinerary set, you're packed, you have your plane tickets or the car's all fueled up, and you are raring to go. But before you know it, your vacation's over. It went so quickly, and now here you are. You are back to reality, and the sign of a great vacation is how long that vacation feeling lasted. That exhilaration of the time you were gone or the peace and serenity of the trip. It may have been so great you came back with the post-vacation blues because you had to go to everyday life. What if you took that whole process and including the fun part, and plan the rest of your life with it, starting with a dream of a bucket list. That bucket list may be something you've been working on for a while, or maybe you don't have one. So what you do is you daydream. You lay on the grass and you watch the clouds, or you sit on the shore and you watch the waves in the ocean or the ripples on the lake, and you daydream about the things that you want. Maybe it's a new career or a house or a business or something creative. But you keep at it. You keep daydreaming until finally you have everything you want. And it is so real you can feel it. And then you do a level set just to make certain that everything you wanted is included in it, and that your values and your vision is appropriately stated. And now what you have is your life bucket plan of possibility. And now you go about making it real. You choose one project and you do the footwork and you keep at it and you do another step. And before you know it, you've completed a major goal. And in the process, you've found yourself. And it's time now to celebrate. And in the celebration, it could actually be a well-planned vacation. And then you get to start again. That's the whole wonderful process of daydreaming. You may reflect back and think about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the trip. And you may have to regroup and do something, but you can keep planning. It's a lifelong process. And as long as you daydream, you can keep creating new realities to live yourself into. A great example is Cynthia Germanata. Can you guess who this media star is? She has reinvented herself so many times. She's unrecognizable from who she used to be. From playing the piano at 4 to filling major stadiums and creating multiple $1 million from each tour. From being bullied as a child to creating the Born This Way Foundation, which focuses on youth mental health and kindness. She has been living her vision with the creative spark for years. And Cynthia is Lady Gaga, and she continues to refine her bucket plan and live it some more. Now, what about you? What's happened with your vision and your creative spark? Has it dimmed under the shadow of reality? Has it kind of wavered like a candle flame? Well, you can breathe new life into it. What if you just daydream some more? When the going gets tough, the tough go daydreaming. At one of the lowest points in my life, I was bankrupt, literally. I had this wonderful career as an accountant using my business background. I loved it. But in an economic downturn, I lost my job. So I went on to create a business of my own, a daydream, a dream that I had had, a consulting business. And it was just turning the corner. A year into the process, I'd made a fraction of what I'd made in the past. And I found myself with all of my credit sources maxed. I didn't have another penny available to me. And I had to look at what I was going to do. In a recent survey, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York and Experian, after the pandemic, said that there was an average of 4 credit cards in every person's wallet and $23,000 of total debt. 25 years ago, I had the equivalent of today's dollars, $250,000 of short-term debt. I didn't have many choices. I'd had a dream and I ran out of funding, so I filed bankruptcy. Around the same time, I went to work for Boeing, and in the process, I realized I didn't have any dreams left. So I dreamt a new dream. I dreamt a massive financial dream because I had had a massive financial failure. I dreamt that I'd have $1 million in the bank when I left corporate America again. It took work, but I kept at it. And slowly it started to evolve, and every now and again I do a course correction because it wasn't consistent with my vision or my values. But finally, I decided it was time to leave Boeing about 15 years later, and I had my $1 million in an investment account. Now, what about you? What wonderful things can you imagine? What amazing things can you daydream about? Whatever it might be, start with daydreaming. Begin it now. Have fun doing it. And when the going gets tough, daydream. Your dreams will carry you forward. With vision and a creative spark, you can create your life bucket plan of possibility.